Daith da, Obi Nakan. Welcome to podcast number 183. So since I spoke to you last, the week has flown by. We had a lovely private service at the crematorium last Friday. You'll be hearing me talk again this week about lovely services where the churches are full with people standing. But then we get right to the other extreme where we just have private, quiet services with a small number of people, and they're just as special. They really are. And this was the case actually last Friday. So say all went well there. And then on to the weekend, working again. Saturday afternoon, we was at St. Column. Now, at the minute, I've said before that when we get funerals, they come in waves from different areas. And at the minute, it just seems to be St. Mabon, St. Column and St. Merrin. Just all the time when there. And this is again true on Saturday for Jean's funeral. And again, St. Column, I may have said before, is a big church. It really is. And I think all the seats were taken with a few standing. So it says a lot. She had a beautiful service, really nice. And I did put a little video on our RJ Bray Facebook page because we had the bells and the bells were sounding proper. And I did the video there because the bell tower, I can't remember seeing it anywhere else. Right at the base of the tower, ground level, there's a beautiful tunnel that goes underneath. So you can walk around the pathway around the outside of the church. So if you have a look at that, it's good to hear the bells, but also, you know, to see that tunnel as well. But yeah, good set of bell ringers they got out St. Column. So that was that. And then I did have a bit of time off on Sunday afternoon. As you know, last week was St. Piran's Day. And every year on the Sunday closest to St. Piran's Day, we go for our annual pilgrimage to the cross there, St. Piran's Cross, the old oratory of the old buried church there at Perranporth. We have a procession. And the weather was pretty good, actually, this time. We escaped any rain, which was good. So we get there at 2 o'clock. My mate was there, Martin Langdon, with all the family and that. So it was good to see Martin. And also, I did take some photos. And basically, we start walking. And then when we get so far, they'll do a little enactment or something. And what I like about it is that half of it is in English, but half of it is in Cornish. So it's a real good feel to it. It really is. And St. Piran, they always have someone playing St. Piran. And this year it was my dear friend Colin Ritalik. Dear old Colin. I always think he looks one of the best St. Pirans. He really does look the part. So, like I said, there was a hang of a crowd there and so many St. Piran's flags as well. So we marched over the dunes there at Perranporth, and then we stopped. We have a little bit of an reenactment. And I did put photos and videos actually on my own personal Facebook page if you want to have a gawk at them. And mainly a lot of them is of Colin, but also of Brian Curnow. Now, Brian, he had his Curnow tartan kilt on there. And he was in quite a few of them as well. But there was a hang of a lot of, I don't know if it was press, but it looked like professional photographers there. There was also a TV station there. I can't remember if Brian said was Channel 4 or Channel 5, but something will be coming out later in the year. And I'll try and let you know when that is. But yeah, we all had a proper time. We really did. And then it was obviously back to work on Monday. Monday, we was up St. Mabon. I did put a lovely little photo. They got a beautiful banner up there, St. Mabina, which is obviously the patron saint up there, who St. Mabon, the church, was named after. And they got a lovely little banner there that was made. So I did put a photo of that up. But that was for Lucille's funeral and hang of a crowd again. It really was again. I think nearly all the seats were taken. So that was brilliant. I think she had a lovely send-off as well. And then also we had staff here, there and everywhere. We had an interment of ashes at St. Tudy. We had Neil was out on air with our PA system. Our Urson limo was out on air down west. So, I mean, we had a busy day actually on Monday. We was here, there and everywhere. And then Tuesday, we had a lovely private, intimate service again at Glyn Valley. That's one of the funerals we had. And one of the funerals yesterday was Phil's funeral. Phyllis, again from St Merran. And a lovely crowd there. Phyllis and John, I've known them for such a long time, the family. And I think she would have loved how the service went. So, like I say, Phyllis was from St Merran. And today we was out St Merran for dear Jerry's funeral. Jerry Chandler, regular listeners to the podcast, you'll know that name. I look back to see the numbers because Jerry did a couple of episodes with me. It must be 18 months or more again now. It was episodes 78 and 79. And lovely chap. And in his 90s, I think he was 93. And if I tell you there was over 300 people in church today, it just shows how well liked and respected he was. But I think he had the perfect funeral today, really, because he played in silver bands for a long time. I know St Izzy and that. Then when that stopped, he played out St Minver in their silver band for such a long time. And 'twas lovely today that they were actually there to play for a couple of the hymns, to play the music as we was leaving as well. So that's something he would like. I did put a photo on our Facebook page of his floral tribute with his instrument. I think 'tis a cornet. He played, I think, mainly the cornet, surrounded by flowers. His beret was on the coffin. 'Twas perfect. And listening to his eulogy, I mean, a lot of it he'd actually mentioned, funny enough, on the podcast. One story he never told me, which I thought was lovely. I mean, Jerry and Betty, they would do anything for anybody. And they was travelling through Devon in their car, perhaps heading back home to Cornwall, I'm not too sure. And they passed a hitchhiker on the road. Now, we don't get so many hitchhikers these days, but like a few decades before, there was always hitchhikers. And they stopped to pick up this hitchhiker. And they were travelling along, talking and making conversation. So they said to him, what do you do for a living, or what have you been doing, kind of thing? He said, well, nothing really. I've just come out of Dartmoor prison. So he said, oh, okay. Oh, well, what was he in there for? He saw murder. So I think it was quite a quiet journey after that until he got out. But it does make you think a bit, doesn't it? But a lovely, lovely chap. One thing that Jerry loved doing as well was going to the Cornish Arms there at St Merran on a Tuesday evening for a good old sing-song of Cornish songs, West Country songs. And it was lovely that most of his friends that sang there with him was there in church today, and they actually sang 4 songs, which was really good. And they were brilliant. A couple of them, I think, was written by Harry Glasson. I'm trying to think what the first one they did was. Can't remember. But one of them was 5 Foot Flirt, and that was written by Cyril Tawney. Now, Cyril sadly passed away a few years ago. He wrote a lot of songs down here in the West Country. I mean, way up north, really, up as far as Plymouth. He lived quite a bit. And I love this song, 5 Foot Flirt. This is one of my favourites of his that he did. And I thought, shall I read you the lyrics to it? And I thought, well, I might even sing it to you. We'll see how it goes. I ain't going to get my guitar out. I'll do it unaccompanied. And then I'll see how it goes. And then I can tell the ratings. If the ratings dip next week, I know never to sing to you again. But this song is a booty song. It's called 5 Foot Flirt. You've got to have it good, fill your lungs with breath, because there's a lot of lyrics you got to get in very quick. So if I give you the background to the song, it's this bloke, he's singing it, and he's singing it about his wife or his girlfriend who's basically having an affair. And she's 5 foot tall, and she's seeing this bloke called Jim Johnson. So that's how the story goes. And a lot of it is in West Country dialect down there. I mean, they talk like we do. They say "youm" quite a bit, which is good. One thing that he does do a bit different is that he uses the word I instead of me or we quite a bit. So you'll pick that up. And then also the other thing I ought to explain is when Jim Johnson is pumping the organ. Now, I remember my father saying this years ago. The organs we have in church now, they're all run by electric, so that's fine. But years ago, when they didn't have electric everywhere, you'd have to have somebody behind the organ physically pumping it so that the sound come out. And I know that that was the job perhaps of choir boys, young boys sort of thing. Go around the organ and pump it. And then after a while, if they got fed up, they stopped pumping. And then after a few seconds, the sound would go from the organ. And then they'd realise they start pumping like hell again. So that's what, when he's saying about Jim Johnson is pumping the organ, that's what he's doing. So I will try and sing it to you. I'll see how it goes. This might be a disaster and I may never sing again. But here it is anyway. Now don't say Jim Johnson weren't with thee last night. I heard'n as plain as can be. I was crossing the mound when I heard a strange sound down by the sycamore tree. I thought perhaps a cow had got stuck in the mud and pulled her foot out with a moo. But I'm satisfied now that that noise weren't a cow, it was Jim kissing you. You, my 5 foot flirt in the robes of an angel, you better leave I alone. Why, the way you actin' it nearly unnerves I. The thing that preserves I is my joviality. Though I've got troubles as thick as the stubble, 'tis you that's the worst of 'em all. So keep out of me track, and if you wanna come back, you can crow, crow, crow. Remember what happened last Saturday night? The air was so peaceful and still. Like a bolt from the blue come a hullabaloo, a growling and crackling so shrill. It came to me head as I crawled from me bed, there's a fox at me chickens, that's true. I crept out in me socks and bumped into the fox, it was Jim kissing you. You, my 5 foot flirt in the robes of an angel, you'd better leave I alone. Why, the way you actin' it nearly unnerves I. The thing that preserves I is my joviality. Though I've got troubles as thick as the stubble, 'tis you that's the worst of 'em all. Keep out of me track, and if you wanna come back, you can crow, crow, crow. Now what's your excuse for last Sunday in church? It fair turned the poor vicar grey. While the organist was rendering Lee kindly light, Jim Johnson kept pumping away. Then all of a sudden the organ stopped short, the vicar got into a stew. When he went round behind, tell me what did he find? He found Jim kissing you. You, my 5 foot flirt in the robes of an angel, you'd better leave I alone. Why, the way you actin' it nearly unnerves I. The thing that preserves I is my joviality. Though I've got troubles as thick as the stubble, 'tis you that's the worst of 'em all. Keep out of me track, and if you wanna come back, you can crow, crow, crow. There. Well, if you're still listening, good on you, I tell you. There's a few notes there, I think, that weren't quite there. Or maybe I should say there's a few notes there that might have been there, and others that might not have been quite as good. But anyway, you get the gist of it. I love that song. Love that song. I might have murdered it, but I love that song. Daisy, one of my daughters, she did put on Facebook tonight, actually. Our youngest grandson, Lenny, in his little cot there, listening to the podcast. I don't know if it was comforting words for me or trying to put him to sleep. Well, once he hears that at the weekend, I think he'll be having nightmares. Right, well now 'tis over to me podcast, the first interview with Eileen Spry. And Eileen, lovely lady, known her forever. and quite poignant actually this week, because I mean, she's 96, I think, and she talks about a lot of her memories in the war, and with all the troubles that are going on worldwide at the minute in Iran and also with Ukraine. It makes you think, I tell you. So we'll go over to Eileen, and then I will speak to you directly with me little Cornish bits. So, here it is. Get on, Eileen. How be knacking?
I'm knacking pretty good for my age.
You're doing well. What year was he born?
1929.
God, you're doing very well.
That makes me 96 now.
96, yeah. So tell us a bit about your early days, perhaps mother and father first.
Yes, it's always mother and father, never mum and dad. Proper Cornish. I'm proud of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you was from down west, was it? Or?
Yes, born in Falmouth, just off Fishstrand Hill.
Right.
My grandfather was a fisherman. My father was a Royal Marine.
Was he? I take it he was away a lot then, was he?
Yes, he was injured during the war, actually.
Okay.
His ship was torpedoed.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, but we traced where he was come the end.
Yeah.
But he was never the same man, of course, when he came home. Old nerves, couldn't stop smoking, or couldn't stop drinking.
What was his name then?
Surname was Westcott.
Westcott. And his first name?
Pardon?
His first name?
Bert, yeah.
Bert, right.
Bert
okay.
Westcott. He was a Denture man.
And how about mum then, mother?
Oh, mother was free and easy. She was a good mother to me.
Yeah. Was she a Falmouth family then?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, she was adopted, actually. But
right.
She had good parents.
Yeah. Because there's talk of Brays being involved somewhere along the line, isn't there, or no?
Vic used to talk about them, but I never knew them.
No.
Long before my time, apparently.
Yeah.
He says, we're united. He always said that.
Yeah. Was you born down Falmouth then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Born in a snowstorm.
Was he really?
2:00 in the morning.
Oh, no.
No hospitals then. Just had a nurse, and mother grinned and bears it.
Yeah, exactly.
I was the only one. No more after that, she said.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to have had brothers or sisters, but
yeah.
there again, they don't always get on, do they?
No, that's true, no. So how about your schooling then?
Oh, well, didn't have much schooling because of the blackouts. There was air raids. We were sleeping. We'd have to get out when the siren went.
Yeah.
Because Falmouth was the place for the Germans. Well, they had the big port down there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Then I went to Plymouth to live.
Right.
Because father was stationed up there in the Royal Marines.
Yeah.
And went right through the Blitz. I had a lot of narrow escapes.
Yeah.
So I don't want no more wars.
No.
You don't get over it.
No, exactly. So you'd have to be rushing for the air raid shelters and...
Yeah, and wearing gas masks. You had to wear them, whether there was gas or not. As practice, you had to be ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get out in the middle of the night with your coat and...
So what age would you have been then?
Oh...
So you've been...
Well, I was 10-year-old when the war started.
Yeah,
I do know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was 16 when it finished. So it was 6 years of that.
Yeah.
I don't want no more wars.
No.
It's dreadful.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you moved back to Falmouth when that finished?
Yes, but it wasn't the same.
No.
I've been away and learned a different life.
Yeah.
Then... When my father got demobbed, finally, from the forces, he was looking for work, and he saw a place advertised in the paper for a place called Rock. And we'd never heard of it before.
No.
Anyway, we found out it was this way. And he came down here for an interview. And they took him on as a barman, and my mother was the cook.
Where was this to then?
And I was a young girl.
Yeah.
I was a bit of this and a bit of that.
Yeah.
And that's where I met my doom.
Yeah.
My Victor.
Where did they work to then?
Singin Golf Club.
Golf club.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Well, I loved it out there. I had all the tips. That's
Yeah.
plenty of money out there.
Yeah, exactly. If I go back a little bit first, how about your primary school at Falmouth then? Was that a big school?
Not particularly, no.
No. Did he enjoy it there?
Oh, yes, that's where I met all my first friends. But
That's right.
they're all dead and gone. I beat them. I've heard every so often from somebody and said so-and-so died. And oh, my turn next, I suppose. But I'm still here.
And what did you do? Like, did you used to play around the quay or what?
Yes, Mother used to say, don't you get in any boats.
Oh.
Used to catch conkers then in the wall
All right.
when the tide went out.
Yeah.
There was what they called the basin in the pier.
Yeah.
Go great whoppers. We didn't see no fear then, but people were shouting off the quay, come in, they're dangerous. Well, found that out after. They were biting people.
Oh, no.
Oh, whoppers.
Oh, hang.
I wouldn't dream of doing that now.
Did you see, like, bodies being brought in from the sea during the war? Or...
Well, yes, I did, from air raids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, coming out of the bombed houses.
All right.
So many of them. Yeah, my school teacher was killed with a bomb.
Right.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
She was lovely.
Did you live in Swampole Street?
Yes, I did.
Right.
How do you know that?
I've done my research. I spent hours on this research.
Oh, that's the research over there, isn't it?
It is, yeah. In an old pub, is that right?
It was a pub, yeah, called the White Horse.
Oh, right, yeah.
Very old-fashioned. Had a cellar, beer cellar.
Yeah.
And our gas meter was down there. We had to get in there to put the money in.
Did he? Yeah.
A drink didn't make no odds to me anyway. I never drunk much at all.
No. Did they run the pub?
Well, they run it, yeah, but they didn't own it.
No, I see.
It was turned into a house eventually.
Right.
And the last time I saw that, the big bell for time was still there.
Oh, really?
That was the only bit they left behind.
Yeah.
Brought back memories of then they're going clang wallop.
Yeah. Have you been back to Falmouth much over the years?
Well,
or
I
no?
did when I was a younger woman, but nobody dead there now. They're all dead and gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had cousins there for years, but they're gone.
I got cousins down there now.
Have you?
Yeah, Pagets and that live down there.
Oh, I don't know that name.
Yeah, so a bit younger than you. Is it right that your father was missing for...
Yes. I can write a story about him.
And that was on the HMS Edinburgh,
Yeah.
is that right? And they were carrying the gold bullion.
Yes, they were. They were being attacked right, left and centre. And at least three battleships went down, and the one he was on was one of them.
Right.
Called the HMS Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Now, he was in the water for hours. We heard it on the radio that the ship had gone down. Of course, we went all to bits.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, they were torpedoed. Different boats, about 1,000 drowned.
Right, oh no.
But my father was still in the water, but he lost his false teeth. They went to the bottom of the ocean. But that's nothing compared to his life.
No, exactly.
Eventually, a boat came along and picked him up, picked him out of the water, and he was whisked off to a place called Murmansk. Well, we'd never heard of it before.
No.
And we found out it was on the borders of Russia.
Really?
That's where he was landed.
Yeah.
Yeah. They couldn't even have a cup of tea. They were boiling pine needles for a cuppa.
Oh no.
But he was there, and they promised they would pick 20 people up from the next boat from this country.
Yeah.
So one came all right, picked up 20 men. My father just missed out on that. He was the 21st.
Oh,
but,
no.
Oh, you'd have to wait for the next boat, you know. So the boat came, and the previous one, the one that had gone with 20 in, was torpedoed on the way home.
Oh, no.
And they all died.
Get away.
Yeah, so he was lucky. But we didn't know it for a long time. It took about 6 weeks, and Mother had a letter from its Commodore to say we've traced him to a place called Murmansk. None of us knew where that was.
No, exactly.
But eventually we found out, and he came home in a polar coat somebody had given him, and he had a seal hat on, but they got him home. He had new suit and all, they gave him old clothes, and he came back to Plymouth to us, of course, and hardly recognising, sunk in, gone thin. It was bag of nerves forever. Yeah. So he would drink and he would smoke, and he could come home and he was never well. He got awful bad tempered. We had to suffer.
Yeah, exactly.
Eventually he died. He went back to Falmouth Hospital and he died down there.
Did he?
Well, he's buried down there. They both are, Mother and him. You don't hear nothing about burials, you know, at all.
And I think, like, obviously when you was at Plymouth, then that city must have been devastated with the bombing, wouldn't it?
Oh, gosh. I don't want no more wars. I'd rather be out of it. Can face that. I was still going to school and it was still going on. Then I started work. And the shop I worked for was bombed right to the ground. Houses, well, we just had to go where we can get in.
Yeah.
There were many left. It's all rebuilt now. I suppose you know that, but I wouldn't recognise it now.
No.
See, we live right next to Denport Dockyard.
Oh, right.
Could have been the worst place.
No, exactly.
Because the Germans was over every night. You just get in bed and you'd hear thump, thump, thump.
Yeah.
That was their engines. We got to know the sound of their engines. When they first started bombing, my cousin and me were living together, about 2 families then. And when the searchlights went up, we didn't know what it was. We would say, oh, isn't that lovely, isn't that pretty? Just don't know. And one night, they bombed quite near us, and we come out the door after the raid, and there was something on the floor around the pavement, perhaps it was, and we said, oh, what's that? Just great big chunks of something grey.
Right.
We picked it up. We went, we soon dropped it. It was shrapnel.
Oh, no.
From the firing. So every day we found something different, you know. And there was shops all bombed. The rats was running around everywhere.
Oh, no.
Warehouses were smashed to the ground. Clothes, we couldn't get no new clothes.
No.
Now, we all had ration books come the end.
Yeah.
Now, because I got so many clothes, my son was playing hell with me.
Lovely.
You just don't know that feeling.
No.
1 pair of shoes a year, give you coupons for that. And rationing, well, a little bit of cheese per ration book.
Right.
If you was a big family, you'd have a bit more cheese like that. 2 more vouchers.
Yeah.
Well, everything, butter, everything. I remember buying potatoes by the pound. We don't do that no more.
No.
But nothing in a pound of potatoes.
No, exactly.
Mother used to send me with a list and come up to, is that all you got? I said, that's all they let me have. We was hungry, I tell you.
Did I hear you worked in a shop called Perkins?
Yes, I was secretary there.
Right.
Worked my way up, and then my father decided to take this Cornish job. I had to give up.
Ah, right.
Still got a letter. Yeah, she was secretary and I was next to her. I mean, I remember most of it. Those were the days.
Well, thank you, Eileen. That was brilliant. I mean, it was, like I said at the beginning, it was very poignant, really, what the world's going through now and what Eileen's generation went through as well. But we'll have more from Eileen next week. And I think this is when, obviously, we're talking about her life in Rock, when it started there, when they moved to St. So we'll speak about that next week. Now, for me Cornish word of the week, I think what I'll do, when we was down Perranporth last week for the March for St. Piran's, right at the end, quite often we sing Trelawney, but this year we did it a bit different. And we sang, well, it's to the tune of the Welsh National Anthem, and it's Bro Goth Ag and Tasso. And I think that'll be me Cornish words for the week. So, Bro Goth Ag and Tasso, which is Old Land of Our Fathers. And I did put a video on of it. I just missed the first little bit. And I'll tell you what, I think it's some of the worst singing I've ever heard. 'Tis even worse, I think, than me singing 5 Foot Flirt. That's easy enough for me to say. 5 Foot Flirt just now. And that's bad. Well, this is even worse. We kind of all start off in different keys. By verse 2, we can get in there a bit, I think. But the first verse didn't go down very well. It wasn't very good at all. So that'll be me Cornish words for the week. And that is Bro Goth Ag and Tasso. Bro Goth Ag and Tasso, Old Land of Our Fathers. For me dialect of the week, always remember Johnny, one of me bearers. He come out with this lovely word. I don't know if it's just down here in Cornwall. Perhaps people can let me know. But if he went to lift something that was quite heavy, he'd use the word cuffy. And he said, cool, that's a bit cuffy. Now, I don't know if anybody else have heard it before, whether it's just down here in Cornwall or elsewhere, but that's the word for the week. So if something's a bit heavy, you can say, cool, that's a bit cuffy, you. Bit cuffy. So there we are. Right, well, that's enough from me for this week. You've suffered enough. Not only have you had me rambling on and on, you've had to listen to me singing too. Numbers will plummet, I tell you. But I'll leave you anyway. Hopefully you will come back next week. I promise I won't sing. And hopefully we'll have part 2 of Eileen anyway. That's something to look forward to. So have a good week. Wish you well. Do Guinness. Cernobis Ficken.